Hey everybody, welcome to James Gleason Real Life.
Hi.
I've been getting a lot of emails of people asking me about the people I work with on the ships and stuff. So I decided actually to interview Caitlin. Caitlin's actually, her job is an ED, an entertainment director on the ship. She is actually my boss on the ship. So,
Yeah.
But she really is. She is my boss. Most people are like, who do you answer to when you're on a ship? This is my boss, and thank God, I am so easy to work with. It's amazing. I'm so amazing. So basically, everybody wants to know, what does the ED do? What is the position that an entertainment director does? What do you do?
Perfect. So my role as the entertainment director is all behind the scenes. So my job is to support the team, support the entertainment, and to also make sure that everything flows the way it's supposed to. If there's any like weird gaps, you can see those awkward transitions. And then most importantly is to support all of my team members and make sure that everything goes the way it's supposed to and they have the support they need on board.
Yes.
One thing that people forget about ship life is that you work with these people, you eat dinner with these people, and you spend your free time with them. So a lot of tensions can rise easily, and it's good to diffuse those before anything happens and also make sure that they have everything they need on a professional level as well. That's the most important.
Yeah, because I mean, it's such a small living quarter on a ship. I mean, you're right. You see these people 30, 40 times a day up and down the hallway. You eat together. You basically, you live. You guys saw behind the scenes tour that I did with my cabin, the hallway. I mean, you're literally 2 foot from your teammate in the next cabin. So definitely. How did you get the job? I mean, how did you come in to become an ED on a Carnival ship?
So funny story. Long story short, I came into Carnival a few years ago as an entertainment staff, or a fun squad we call them now.
Fun squad, yeah.
And that's where I started. I climbed the ranks there. I happened to be at the right place at the right time. I got promoted into an assistant cruise director position, which is something that was in the past, we used to do that. And then since then, I covered as cruise director. I worked hard and I made a name for myself. And after I became cruise director, I was like, this is not for me. And I decided to take the backside of it instead. So I'm all behind the scenes now, supporting the cruise director and the teams on board. So it's really kind of been a growing experience. I always thought I wanted to be in the front of the house. Yeah. And I got there and I'm like, oh, maybe not. So. Yeah.
And then, so my next question would be, what is the best thing about being the not being in the front and not in the limelight, or to be behind and running the whole system that nobody knows that A and B and C has to be done?
I think that's a good part of it, but I think still the most important part is that I can still come out in the guest areas. Yes. And I can still have great impact on their experience on board. Right. Is that they don't realize how much goes behind the scenes, and helping Mikey, my cruise director, or any cruise director you work with, there's so much more that goes into it than just being on stage. Right. There's training, there's safety on things that you have to do. Yeah. So being able to support them and get that through is still the best experience. Supporting the people that can be on the front lines. Right.
And I meant to say that at the beginning when we started the interview. We are on the Carnival Fantasy out of Mobile, Alabama. Our cruise director is Mike. He's from South Africa. Amazing cruise director. Amazing cruise director. Now comes a good question. What's the worst thing about being ED on a boat?
That you can't ever escape it sometimes. No, I say that jokingly.
You are stuck here. You can never leave.
No,
this
that's not
990 feet small town.
No, there's tough days, but there's also good days as well. And I always find, and I always tell my team this, that for every bad day you have and for every maybe experience that's not the greatest you have, there's going to be 1,000 more that are going to trump that. So on the tough days, you have to push through, because at the end of the day, there's going to be 1,000 good ones. Yeah, that's true. I mean, so it's turning a negative into a positive, but at the same time, you have to have a good day and a bad day, because otherwise you don't appreciate the good. Right, that's true.
So what would you have, what kind of advice would you have for somebody that wanted to become an entertainment director on a Carnival ship? Well, I would say probably have like an entertainment background. Like you said, she came up through the rank, fun squad, then became an assistant cruise director, then a cruise director. So she came through the rank. Like, to have an entertainment background in this business, an entertainment director is a great thing. Now, what advice would you give somebody that like, oh, I have an entertainment background, I would like to become an ED on a cruise ship? What would you tell them?
I would say cruise as a guest first.
Okay.
Cruise as a guest first, because you get to see the experience, you get to see the overall picture, you get the outside perspective, which is great. 2, I would say if you want to start small, maybe start as a fun squad, work your way up. Come in as a musician, come in as a cast member, as a technical person. Those people are all part of the entertainment department, and they play a vital role. It's good to have the small picture so you can expand and see how it grows into the big picture. Another good part of it is if you do have the entertainment experience already, you can come in from the outside into this role, and it's good because it keeps us on our toes, I think is a good way to put it. Sometimes in this environment, you're doing things voyage after voyage, you become, well, this is how we always do it. But why do we do it that way? It doesn't necessarily work. So having an outside experience is also good as well.
Yes, yeah,
So
that's true. So, all right, I got one more question, and we'll let you get back to work on it. And I appreciate you taking your time. It's a two-part question. One, the first part is, what is the funniest thing that you've seen as an ED director? I mean, there's got to be a ton of them, because if you ever take a Carnival ship, you probably won't know the entertainment director unless you read their name tag, but they're everywhere. They'll walk up and down the hallway, be like, I don't know who that person is. They're not wearing a uniform. They're always dressed very nice, and they have a name tag on. It's usually the entertainment director, because they're everywhere. They're popping in to make sure this person is doing this and this. Everything's flowing like it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So what's the funniest thing you've seen so far as an entertainment director?
I think the funniest thing I've ever witnessed, does it have to be as an entertainment director or just in my career? Because there's some different stories that I like to share.
You pick the best one and we'll go with that. Okay. Whatever the best one you think
so
it is.
So here's my best story, and I'm really sorry to this person if you're watching. I didn't mean it, I swear it was a joke. I was on another ship working, and this ship has a retractable roof over the Lido deck, which is wonderful. So like on the days where it rains, you can still have all the activities, nothing gets canceled. It kind of becomes like a shopping mall sometimes, but it's really good because nothing gets changed. It makes my life a lot easier having to schedule and reschedule activities.
Yeah, nice.
So we were on a sea day, and there was like a day where it was passing showers. So it would be sunny one minute and then downpouring the next. When that happens, the housekeeping team was responsible for closing the retractable roof and then reopening it. So the storm had passed, it was sunny out again, so a guest had asked me why the roof wasn't opened yet. And me being a little bit sassy, I said, well, it's based on the speed we're traveling, the currents of the ocean, the wind speed, and I said it would create a vortex. And if they opened it, and the guest says, oh yeah, sure, walked away, didn't give me a chance to say that I was joking and that they were in the process of opening it, and I felt so bad, but so I laugh at it because
that is funny. So in other words, you have to get the ship up to 88 miles an hour to hit the flux capacitor to open the back sealing on the ship.
Basically, yeah. But she didn't give me a chance, and I tried, and
okay, that's the funniest thing that happened. Stories. Now, what is the weirdest thing that happened? Like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe. Hashtag that just happened. OMG.
I have those almost every day. My favorite thing that I think that in my head all the time is on formal night.
Yes. When
you see people's outfit choices. Those are the best OMG moments because you're like, oh, and you like just, honestly, if you have a cruise, best thing to do.
Yeah.
Get dressed for formal night early, go sit along promenade and just watch people.
Yes.
I'm telling you, it's like a parade. There's some that are dressed so spiffy and so clean, they're amazing, and some that you're like, oh, you think you just came from the pool, but you didn't.
No.
It's so different. I think that's the best OMG moment because it's always different no matter what ship you're on.
Yeah, that's true. Like, oh, look, somebody went to the Salvation Army. Think you look pretty, don't you? So,
he said that, not me.
I just say that. Well, Caitlin, thank you so much for taking time to interview us. Yeah. And like I said, if you have any other questions, just put it on, comment below on the video and stuff like that. I'm coming back to this ship. We might do another follow-up to this video right here. Yeah. But definitely comment on this video, and maybe we'll have a part 2 with Caitlin.
For sure, yeah.
If she doesn't get fired for this one. For the vortex.
I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm sorry. If it was you, miss, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it.
Stay tuned. Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.